Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching a Comic Hero show. Now kick that intro! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. The summer of superheroes continues, and on this episode, I'm paying tribute to everyone's favorite spy in the comics, the Black Widow. Now, the Black Widow made her debut in Tales to Astonish number 52 in 1964, and was created by Stan Lee, Don Rico, and Don Heck. Now, she has, in addition to being a spy, she's also been a member of the Avengers. And this holds true also in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where she's been played by Scarlett Johansson. And of course, the Black Widow movie just came out, and that's another reason why I'm showing some love to the Black Widow. And this is a Black Widow Comic Hero tee. Inside the speech bubble, you have the Black Widows, and then also the Black Widow logo. Now, if you want your own Black Widow Comic Hero tee, you can find them on my website, IamTheComicHero.com, for $17. Now, speaking of the Black Widow movie, I'm going to let y'all know what I think about it in the Comically Speaking segment, but for right now, it's time to give away a free t-shirt! Alright, on last week's episode, I asked, in the pages of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original comic series, April O'Neil was a news anchor. Well, the correct answer is false. She was actually a computer programmer and a lab assistant to Baxter Stockman. It wasn't until the cartoon came out in 1987 where she was a news anchor. Well, the correct answer is false, and 10 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in a drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is... Adam Reed from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So congratulations, Adam. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Black Widow question. The Black Widow goes by another name besides Natasha Romanoff. What is it? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Now, Mandy Hooter from Bossier City, Louisiana has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one features the Prince of Eternia going up against the King of Asgard. Representing Marvel, we have Thor. And representing Mattel, we have He-Man. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call... The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Thor versus He-Man. Thor possesses superhuman strength, speed, durability, and longevity. With Mjolnir, he possesses interdimensional teleportation, electricity manipulation, flight, and weather manipulation. He-Man possesses superhuman speed, indestructible skin, and superhuman strength. Who will win? One thing's for sure. There will be property damage, and plenty of it. The two would trade punches for minutes on end. Their speed and strength would cause them to be on par with each other. However, Thor would take the most damage due to He-Man's indestructible skin. It would only be a matter of time before the Sword of Power and Mjolnir come into play. The two would clang each other's weapons for a while. Thor suddenly gains the upper hand and strikes Mjolnir against He-Man's face. This proves to be unsuccessful, again, due to He-Man's indestructible skin. While Thor is stunned in disbelief, He-Man guts Thor in the midsection with the Sword of Power. He-Man wins. But wait! Right before he seemingly succumbs to the fatal blow, Thor uses Mjolnir to create a flourishing and final blow to He-Man by raising it in the air and summoning lightning down on He-Man. This results in He-Man's powers transferring to Thor and He-Man becoming Prince Adam. Thor then concludes, "Now I have the power, boy." Thor wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Alright, thank you Mandy Hooter for that fight, and if y'all have any fights y'all want to request, go ahead and do it. It can be a very serious-minded science fiction cartoon character going up against a superhero. It can be or any other comic book character, or it can be a comic book character go up against a video game character. Nothing over the top, nothing tasteless, nothing that just doesn't make any sense, please. Alright, now it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, there are two things we're going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking, and here's the first. Now, as promised at the beginning of the show, I'm going to let y'all know what I thought of the Black Widow movie. Watched it a few days ago, and let me tell you, it was interesting. Now I'm not going to give anything away because I'm quite sure there are a lot of folks that haven't seen the movie. I will say this, the beginning of it isn't going to really make sense to you. But then as the movie progresses, it's going to make sense. And, yeah, I mean, of course, Scarlett Johansson played the Black Widow, and then Yelena, which was her sister in the movie, was played by Florence Pugh. I mean, it was good. It wasn't really up there with movies like the first Iron Man movie or Captain America: The First Avenger. I want to say it was kind of up there with Thor Ragnarok. I think it was great. Of course, Scarlett Johansson was also the executive producer of the movie. And while I'm thinking about it, it's been reported that Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney because because she only wanted the film to be in theaters. She didn't want it to be streaming on Disney Plus for a fee. And I mean, in a way I get it, but in a way it's kind of unfortunate. It's unfortunate because, I think she should be considerate towards the fact that there are some people that, even in this pandemic, are still scared to death of going out to somewhere like a theater to see a movie. And that's why Disney Plus is streaming a lot of their movies, so this wouldn't happen. And I mean, I get why I get why she's suing Disney, but I also think that her suing Disney is unfortunate due to the fact that, again, a lot of folks are still scared to death to go to movie theaters right now. I mean, this pandemic, we're still in a pandemic, and we're having to deal with this new Delta variant that's either infecting or killing a lot of people. And I just believe that she needs to be a little considerate towards that fact. I mean, I know people have to eat, people have to make a living and all that, but still, consideration is. I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with consideration. I mean, we should all be considerate towards each other. Just a little food for thought. But Black Widow, if I'd go see it. And then also, there's going to be an extra scene after those long and painful end credits. An extra scene that y'all really need to see, because that sets the tone for what's to come later in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Alright, now the second thing is that I have some news regarding GeekCon. Bad news first and then good news. Bad news is Christopher McDonald Jason Mewes and Jonathan Bennett will not be attending GeekCon because they are about to start filming movies. Jason Mewes is about to start filming Clerks 3. Of course, he's famous for playing Jay of the tandem Jay and Silent Bob. I mean, we all loved him in just about everything that Kevin Smith directed, whether it's Mallrats, Clerks 2, and then Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Well, they're filming a third movie, and I honestly can't wait to see that one. And then Christopher McDonald is filming a Marvel movie. He's very tight-lipped about what it is and who's he playing. And then Jonathan Bennett's also filming a movie. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is 3 more guests have been added to the GeekCon list, and I'm talking about Joey Fatone, Chris Kattan, and Vanessa Angel. Now, Vanessa Angel was in the TV series Weird Science, and then also, but she's mostly famous for her role as Claudia in the Farrelly Brothers movie Kingpin. And then Joey Fatone, of course, member of the Platinum Group NSYNC, but in addition to that, he's also a TV announcer, actor, and a TV host. He hosts the post-episode show for Practical Jokers called "And Practical Jokers After Party," and he's also a guest co-host. And then he's also been in movies like My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And a lot of folks don't know this, but for the first few seasons that Steve Harvey started hosting Family Feud, Joey Fatone served as the announcer. And then Chris Kattan, we know him, we love him. He was a cast on Saturday Night Live throughout the mid to late 90s, and then the early 2000s. He played characters like Mango, and then he played Antonio Banderas in any Antonio Banderas sketch. But my personal favorite was when he played Mr. Peepers. Of course, Mr. Peepers was the human being who thought he was a monkey or some other form of primate. And then he's been in movies like Monkey Bone and Corky Romano, and also Night at the Roxbury. He was also in that sketch with Will Ferrell, which was so famous and so popular that it became a movie. So just when you thought that GeekCon was going to be a little lackluster, not so much now. And also, I'm going to be a vendor there. I'm going to be a vendor with guest tendency, so y'all come out and see me. I'm going to sell Comic Hero tees, Comic Hero cups, and Comic Hero trucker hats, and I'll also autograph some photos that I'm going to sell as well. So come out. GeekCon is August the 13th or the 15th at the Shreveport Convention Center in downtown Shreveport, Louisiana. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, first up is Captain Marvel number 30. Catwoman number 33. Extreme Carnage Phage. Gamma Flight number 2. The Flash number 772. Guardians of the Galaxy number 16. Justice League number 65. Marauders number 22. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 28. New Mutants number 20. Reptile number 3. Wonder Girl number 2. Shazam number 1. Real excited about this book. Sinister War number 1. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow number 2. Thor Annual number 1. And finally, X-Men Legends number 5. Alright, that's 17, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 10,746. Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. The Black Widow goes by another name besides Natasha Romanoff. What is it? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Adam Reed from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who won a free tee on this week's episode. Alright, on the next episode of the show, I realized that throughout this summer of superheroes, I haven't covered Superman. So on the next episode I do, I'm gonna cover Superman. Usually I do it first, but there were some characters that were celebrating anniversaries. I wanted to go ahead and show some love to them first. And of course, the first one was the Miles Morales Spider-Man. I mean, this is his 10th anniversary. And then also Wonder Woman. This is her 80th anniversary. Now I know the Fantastic Four are celebrating their 60th anniversary, but I have something very special planned. That's for episode 367. On that episode, I'm going to wear not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 comic hero tees, and it's representing all 4 members of the Fantastic Four. And of course, I'm talking about Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and the ever-loving Blue-Eyed Thing. That's episode 367, and that's the last episode I do before GeekCon. And a reminder of GeekCon, and you know, I know I said it already in the Comically Speaking segment, but I feel like I have to say it again because I'm very excited about it. This is my first my first major con as a vendor, and I'm very excited. And you know, I know I keep saying the word excited, but I truly am. It's August the 13th or the 15th at the Shreveport Convention Center in downtown Shreveport. So if y'all not doing anything, y'all come. And I've also been told that it's going to be very safe for anyone that's a little weary because we're still in this pandemic. It's going to be safe for everyone, and it's definitely going to be safe with me. And really looking forward to it, and I hope to see y'all there. All right, I want to leave y'all with something. Now, as you're watching this, I know that it's a little late. I'm very late getting this up. And usually this is around the time that I start planning for a new episode of the show. Went through a little adversity. I'm not going to go into specific as to what, but because one, I don't do that, and 2, adversity is temporary, which is the case here. None of us live our lives without adversity, and it's okay to not be okay. It really is. However, you can't be not okay forever. As someone along the way is going to encourage you to get up and move forward. But in the event that no one does that, then you have to do it. And even if someone does, you have to make you have the last word on whether you're going to get up or not. It is your choice. I mean, anyone can encourage you, but it's you who has to make the decision. So I'm encouraging you, if you ever go through something, and whether anyone encourages you or not, you have to get up yourself. It is your life, and therefore you have the last word. No one else does. I mean, yeah, folks can speak words of encouragement to you till they're blue in the face, but unless you make the decision for yourself, then it's not going to matter what anyone says. I mean, yeah, great. I mean, it's great that we get encouraged. It's great that we get encouraged, but we ourselves individually have to make the decision ourselves. So always want to get up. Always. All right, I'm Victor Nutley on the Comic Hero. I'll see you next time for episode 366. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.